3, 2, 1, action. Welcome back to Welcome back to the I Like Hawaii podcast, season 2, episode 4. I'm your co-host Shug, sitting here with my lovely wife Sandra. Yo, that's how we. My bad. I usually let her just go and say, "Hey, my lovely wife."
Yo, I
and
don't
she'll
know
come
what
in with the Sandra. It's the drink. It's the drink. Yeah, it's the drink. Yeah, I don't know. You want to taste it? It's a little strong.
What you drinking?
You'll find out when you taste it.
What?
Being as though you drunk all my ginger ale, there's nothing to chase that shit with. So it's just all. This is the Ciroc. Yeah, it's strong, right?
Ew.
Not your cup of tea.
Ew. It's straight?
Mm-hmm.
That's nasty.
I don't have anything to chase it with. Like, you drunk all my shit.
That's nasty. You should have went to the store.
Too much time going to the store.
Put some that tequila margarita juice in it.
You drunk all that too?
No, it's a sip in there.
Oh, so I do got some.
It's a splash.
I do got some rose.
Oh, okay. Is it in there?
Not yet. It is now. I want you to taste it without the actual.
No, that's not my cup of tea at home.
Oh, that's to go out and get fucked up.
Definitely.
Got you. That'll put you
that's
a few shots to get you where you got to be at.
Woo, that is
Grown man drink.
What is it? Ciroc?
It's Ciroc. This is like Ciroc, the Ciroc brandy.
No, I don't drink that. I don't drink that.
Girl, you drink everything.
I drink whatever's free.
Exactly.
But I don't drink
and that was free.
Yeah, but I don't drink that. It took me a long time to drink Douce.
Okay.
And you buy it all the time.
But Douce is not.
I barely still drink it.
Douce is not that as strong as that shit is.
It's nasty.
No, Douce is smooth.
Hennessy is nasty.
Hennessy is terrible. Yes, I'll give you that. Yeah, that's enough of this.
I have a margarita. Just some regular margarita. Tequila margarita mix.
Oh, is it the 1800 or is it the I don't know.
1800.
I don't know. We got two tequilas back. The rock tequila, right? It's like Termana. I don't know what it is, but it's good. Like, it'll fuck you up like fast. Like, it'll get you there fast.
I don't want to be there fast in the house.
No, I like to get there fast. Like,
in the house.
The quicker you get. I mean, well, you got kids, so like getting there fast. When they go to sleep, you got a certain window to kind of get your shit off before somebody wakes up. And by somebody, we mean Colin. So he will wake up and just like fuck up everything.
Yes,
so.
He's upstairs now.
With no babysitter.
No babysitter.
No God. I mean, because Samara will usually watch him while we actually recording this podcast. But
yeah, she's at work.
And it's kind of like, yeah, we rolling the dice here. So
figuring it out.
Yeah, it's new.
No, one kid don't stop our show.
1 kid, 2 kid, 3 kid, 4 kid.
Oh, one more kid don't stop our show.
Nah, not yet. To that moment. Well, he getting to the point now where he's starting to sleep, like, I mean, like throughout the night, so it'll be cool.
But don't be surprised if y'all get a guest appearance
from Colin.
Of Colin.
Yeah, he'll make his appearance. I'm pretty sure. Very soon. Yeah, like very, very soon. Mm-hmm. Speaking of these badass kids, that's kind of the topic we wanted to go into anyway. Like, just kids. I mean, like, so parenting, because obviously we're parents. We're parents of 3. How do you feel about that? Well, 2.5, because Samara's grown.
Yeah.
But it's a different kind of parenting with her.
Yeah.
So it means, I guess you still got to count it as 3. So we're a parent of 3, different stages in their lives.
All of them.
Like, literally different stages, 3 different stages. Like,
all of them.
We have an infant, a toddler, and a pre-adult. Like, pre-adult. So, yeah, that's just a different dynamic in general, trying to deal with all 3 of them. But we kind of want to go into, like, parenting today versus how it was when we grew up. I don't know about you, but like it's weird, because I feel like my dad was kind of like not too. He was hands on, but wasn't hands on. Mm-hmm. Like, okay, well, you go ahead and you go do what you want to do, but because you're a guy too, so that was a little different, with more freedom. And what I saw is with my sister, he wasn't as free. But my mom, like, my dad used to work overnight back in the day, so, like, my mom kind of had control over being in the house at this time, et cetera, et cetera. So, as, she got older, like I would be out a little longer, but you know, my dad makes sure to be home at a certain time. But then my mom started like, my dad started working overnight. My mom started taking over. It was like, no, Bianca, like you know, you can kind of stay out, kind of do a little more things, and you know, getting that around. But my dad was like kind of hands off, as far as letting me kind of do what I wanted to do. So, and that's kind of how I feel like parents are today. Like they don't kind of like it's not too much discipline. Now, what I will say is, my dad ruled through fear.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
I think I rule through fear.
No, you definitely ruled through fear.
But I will you up.
That's the fear part. Like that's the fear part.
If I have to.
No, but
because I'll say
you fucked up maybe once or twice.
You want me to pop you? Like I don't pop her as much as I probably could pop her. Like she crazy. She don't listen.
So prime example. Like when you.
She's a toddler.
She's not gonna listen. She's not gonna. She's figuring things out.
Yeah.
So then my question. So this is perfect because you grew up with your mom, right?
Go ahead.
Matter of fact,
I thought you was about to take it somewhere else.
No, matter of fact, you saw your grandma kind of like it was in your mom's life because your grandma was like around a lot. So you saw that relationship with your grandma and your mom. Then you saw your relationship with your mom and you.
I can't recall. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, well you still saw.
I can't recall. I think if I had to say so, my mom and my grandma was close.
Okay. But you still.
But again, that's as an adult. She was an adult. Yeah. So.
I mean,
I don't know if she was lenient or not, or you know what I mean. If that had to do with her parenting style, because I feel like you said, your dad was pretty laid back. My mom was pretty laid back too. I would say the least. Like she was. I feel like she was the cool mom. Like I think if I had to like judge her to my other friends and their moms growing up, my mom was the more lenient mom. Like everybody was like, okay, if Sandra mom said she could go, then you know you could go. Yeah. Like
your mom was that mom.
Like yeah, if Sandra could go, you could go. Like a couple people moms was like that. Like Sandra going, you could go. Like which don't mean like, you know, my mom was a bad, you know what I mean? They didn't look at it like, you know.
Right.
They didn't look at it the opposite way, like Sandra mom let her go, no, you can't go. Like no, like she just goes anywhere, do anything. Like no, it wasn't like that. So I'm not gonna say it was a bad thing.
But so
she definitely was a little bit more lenient. Like I would say I've had way more freedom than Samira did. So I don't want to call her strict. She wasn't strict, and I don't think maybe I was a bit strict.
You were definitely strict.
You said that coming in. Like, you definitely said that coming in. And Samira was 16 then.
You were overly strict. She was 15.
She was 15. She just turned 16 a few weeks after us dating.
Doing a wild thing. Go ahead.
We started nothing.
Go ahead.
So I definitely would say she was strict.
But you were
strict. But she wasn't so loose.
Here's my question though. So
I still had to be on the block by the time the street lights came on, kind of thing.
Well, that was a universal black thing back in the day. Well, that was universal just kid thing back in the day.
You gotta be on the block, on the step. We only had 3 steps,
so then my question was, were you strict on her because of like your teen mom shit, and you like kind of wanted to avoid that for her? Because your mom was definitely like, if she was a little looser with you. And you say she wasn't strict, but she gave you freedom to kind of roam.
No, I don't think that's even the case because I wasn't the first. My sister is 7 years older than me. So, you know what I mean? And she was a teen mom as well. So, you know, you would think the mistakes you think, you know what I mean, might have made with your first child, you're going to do better with your second child. Right. Like, I was a teen mom too. So, like, we all just teen moms, generation and generation.
That's cool.
Like,
but
so you can't even say she was like...
No, you broke the curse. So I said, do you think you going through that, watching your sister go through that?
It might have to do with that partially. I wouldn't say the whole thing had to do with my fear of my daughter. I never feared Samira being a teen mom.
I know why, because you was like fucking locked down. Like Sandra had Samira.
I never feared her being a teen mom. No, If anything, I didn't want her in these streets doing God knows what with these little boys and like, no, Philadelphia is not even safe. So like, you need to be in the house once it's dark. Like, she didn't know anybody on the block anyway. Like, what are you outside for?
I mean, that plays a role in the parenting too, though, because I mean, back then, being outside was the thing, and while it was,
and when Mira was growing up, that became dangerous. Kids
Yeah.
couldn't just play on their porch like
it started
regularly. So
it definitely started to change around
yeah.
her time.
So me, you know what I mean, being outside all the time, you know, come home for the street lights on, you don't necessarily got to come in. You got to be on the block. Nah, you got to be in when
Like,
it's dark.
So when I come in the door and I yell your name,
yeah.
like,
Yes. I should be able to see you.
yeah, like, where the fuck are you at? And I'm like, I'm on Manny's step. Shout out to Manny, you know who he is.
But no, it's dangerous. You don't even want them outside at this point. So it's like, no, you need to be in the house. And again, that is based on where you grow up. Like,
yeah, well, so I mean, yeah, so obviously I grew up in North Philly.
I didn't get us out of West Philly. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
like,
West Philly, you know.
I grew up in North. Sandra grew up in West. As we got older, our neighborhoods. I can't say Philadelphia got more dangerous.
North Philly was always scary to me.
But it wasn't as scary as it is now.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense. Like,
I totally get it.
Like, I grew up there, and it was like, you know, I don't remember
I
it
got
being.
the citizens at West Philly seems scary to me now as an adult, and I've been here for over
40 years?
on my own a long time. Like, I don't know, almost a long time. And
So,
I never looked at it as scary until I got the Citizens app. And it's like, ooh.
That was right around the corner.
He got killed right around the block. Right?
So,
That's crazy.
so you think your parenting style is different from your mom's?
Yeah.
In what sense?
Like I said, I'm definitely a little bit more strict. Especially, like, you say you came in and I gave Samira a curfew, which it might have been still light outside.
Yeah, out of control.
You was like, wait, it's still light outside. You want her to come in the house? I'm like, yeah.
She was out of control.
Yeah, she's supposed to be like, I get home by this time, so she need to be home. Like,
she get home at 3.
I got off at 3.
Yeah, she
I
get home by
worked
3:30.
6 to 3. I used to work like 8 to 5, and I would get to Samira by 6 or something like that. But she was in the after school program, so you know, once she got old enough to like, she ain't need to be in the after school program. Like, take your behind straight home. Like, you know, they're gonna like do them and be outside, and I done had to pull up on her a couple times.
Because
like,
God forbid she was outside past 5:30. The fuck.
So what? She didn't have no friends out there anyway. So what are you out there?
I mean, obviously, because you wouldn't let her be outside.
and see, and that's where too. When it still happens today. It still happens today. When you feel like, and maybe because you don't have those, you know, your kids are still young. You feel like, you know, friends might overstay their welcome or whatever. How I raised Samira, and she was the only child, was her friends was always at our house, or she was always at that one friend house. So it never was like an issue. I'd rather you be here with your best friend, or you there with your best friend. Me and that mom
To
is
be outside
cool.
in the streets.
Yes, like me and that mom is on the same page. Like,
So
Miss Joy.
So your biggest fear was the streets. That's kind of what it boils down to. Like, yo, I don't mind you being outside if you're outside in somebody else's house. I don't mind you being outside of I don't mind you being outside of my household as long as you're in somebody else's household. But you can't be outside of my house.
And most of the time it was my household because she's the only child. Exactly. I'm like, I allow those best friends to hang around, stick around.
To help fill her void of just being lonely.
Yes. Because
so now
only children, believe it or not, are lonely.
So now that's bullshit. So now you have
that's my opinion.
Now you have a whole different set of kids. So now, I
still root with fear.
So Yeah, I'll roll with that.
Our kids are still little. Our toddler is still wild. Okay.
So
she and I put some bass in my waist. So
excuse me.
And then she might take me a little bit serious, or just some stuff. Period. She takes me more serious than you.
Wow. Pow, pow. I some gunshots.
There's no shots. This is we talking about parenting. She does. Like, you say, dang, can't you just walk right up and get in the chair from mommy? You don't even give no fuss, no fight, no nothing. Like, it's time to eat. I gotta, like, give you the phone, make you watch something, like, chase you around before. I chase her around before she get in the chair, too. But, yeah, like, she give you the runaround.
So, that's weird. So, my daughter tends to understand who's vulnerable and who's not.
At two.
Probably
at one. Yeah.
She figured out, oh, you is sweet. And,
I told you she would. Because I know kids.
I am totally fine with that. Because, when it gets to a certain point, I'll pop her. Like, hey, stop playing.
You're not going to pop her.
I popped like 4 or 5 times.
I ain't never seen you pop her. Wait, you told me once.
I do a sneak pop. Like, like
you told me once you popped her.
Yeah, I do a sneak pop. I pop like 4 or 5
times. What are you
sneaking
for? You grown. You sneaking from me because I don't care.
No. So what
pop your daughter.
No, it won't be like that.
Y'all not going to be relying on me to pop her every time. I'm not going to be the bad guy. I'm popping when I need to pop her. If I need to pop her. Because I don't pop her for everything.
The way it goes is like she'll be doing something like, I be trying to get it calm down.
Blatantly,
pop.
She knows she's
wrong.
It's not no she's crying because she's a top.
Disrespectful shit. She been disrespectful.
When she know, like, she's being bad. Like, and I'm gonna say bad. Like, yeah. She's not bad all the time. No. She's a toddler.
Yeah, doing toddler things.
Exactly. She's not. But we know what our daughter understands, and we know what she doesn't understand. And we know when
she understands a lot.
And we know when she's just being ass. So,
she's like 75% of the time.
That's why I said she don't get popped as much as she probably could.
No.
And I feel like even comparing her to Samira probably been popping way more by two than Kennedy has been.
But your patience is a little different.
Yes.
Your patience,
definitely.
But you've grown as a... Okay,
definitely.
So
y'all, it took me 18 years to have another child. Why do you think it took me 18 years?
I mean, so...
When you met me.
When I met you, what?
I hated kids.
Except Sage and Ryan. Yeah.
Boom. Except my God kids. I don't care for anybody else's kids.
Hate is a strong word.
Hate.
Your friends' children.
Yeah, I can tolerate them while they with their mom. Yeah, because I can send them to their moms.
Oh, couple of this.
But
Bambi and John, we almost got y'all a couple of this, but not these, like some good ones.
But yes, I can't. My patience is like, get him, get her, like where, if I feel like my God kids or Samira, all right, stop playing, sit down, like. Excuse me, I'm not gonna get as like annoyed, where I get annoyed by other people's kids.
So
very easily.
Kennedy, I know Kennedy for me, like, because again, Sandra's going through her second. She'll be going through a second and third transition of kids. Because she'll have how she raised Kennedy, and how she raised Samira, how she's raising Samira. Still. Then on top of that, how she's actually raising Kennedy, which she's going to tweak a few things. Sandra's just strict by nature, which is that's kind of who she is. She tends to put her foot down. She likes to run shit on a schedule.
You would think I'm the military parent, and you're not. I
feel like you call me a pussy.
You know how they just, I don't know, the stigmatism in my head. So I think is that what it's called, stigmatism?
I think you gotta relax, because they're girls.
In my head of the army?
I think you gotta relax, because they're girls.
No, it be girls. And these dads be military fathers. And they like, and then,
That's not my personality.
The girls might be a little wild or whatever,
Exactly.
in the after effect, but
from the bullshit.
Yeah, but again, I am that like military mom, but not in the military, and you're the civilian father.
Yo, so we have girls and a boy. So now your energy is gonna be a little different when it comes to your son. So I mean, here's a prime fucking example. The way in which your mom treated you and Bambi and Tiffany is totally different than the way she probably treated Stefan or Marcus.
Okay. You might be right.
So, stop it. I'm going to go to more. So, when you got your two daughters,
go ahead.
And you're going to have your son. He's going to be your only son, too, which is going to make it even worse. He's going to be your only son. And he's going to be your youngest child and your only son.
I think I rule the same way.
That's bullshit.
I think I rule the same way.
That's bullshit.
Here's why
it's going to be bullshit. Here's why it's going to be bullshit. Because I'm going to be tougher on him. And because of that, you're going to provide the motherly nutrition balance of, mama's nature and I got you.
But I'm not that one that's I'm going to ride with you in person. I mean, in the moment. But I'm going to tell you was fucking wrong. Once we get behind closed doors. Because I feel like, too, we need to come as a united front. Even if you're wrong.
United fronts are important.
Even if you're wrong.
United fronts are extremely important.
Even if you're...
Because kids, in a sense, you motherfuckers aren't united, and they'll play with y'all.
Exactly. Can. And...
Stop playing with them.
And I feel like because... I feel like you're only saying you're going to be strict is because of sex. Because he has a penis, you're only going to be strict. You can't be strict with your daughters. When you can...
Well,
you don't want to be strict with your daughters, but you're going to make sure your son is structured and strict, and you're going to make sure he holds up to a certain standard, and just, what are you crying for? Where Kennedy can cry for hours straight. Oh, baby, it's okay. You're not going to do that because he has a penis.
So...
You're not going to baby your son and enable your son because he has a penis, but you'll enable your daughter because she has a vagina.
To an extent. It has nothing to do with sexual body parts.
Again, it has nothing. Yes, it does. It has everything to do with women and female. But you're saying that I'm going to balance it out because you're doing what you're doing. When I feel like, no, I'm going to raise my kids how I'm going to raise my kids. We always had this talk before. I always knew it would be if anything,
so here's
a struggle with how we would want to raise our kids.
Here's my issue, though.
And now we got both genders. It's going to be a roller coaster.
Yes, it's going to be more complex. Here's my issue, though. I am raising a male in today's society. A black male at that. So there's different dynamics that come along with that. And so you also got to understand that our kids won't grow up here. So a lot of the shit we went through, a lot of the cultural and neighborhood experiences we got, they won't get. So they're gonna miss out on all that street smart shit that we got. They're gonna miss it.
I don't think so.
They're gonna miss it.
I don't think so.
They won't grow up in an area where it requires them.
We ain't in the suburbs, but come on.
That's the point.
Look at the neighborhood that we're about to move in. Everything is all the kids is in one section.
That's cool, but them kids
are get a taste of.
They're not no Philly kids.
You don't know that. They not North Philly kids. No, okay.
Okay, so what are you talking about?
Nobody is North Philly kids.
I mean, just in general, they're not inner city kids. So the things in which they focus on are different than what, their experiences are different.
I still got nephews and nieces that aren't inner city kids that act like they inner city kids.
Well,
they never been inner city kids if you want to count 1 through 4 of the years of their life.
So,
no.
Their experiences are going to be different than what our experiences are. So, off that alone, they're gonna be missing some things that we actually got. This time viewing shit, especially my son. So if
Go ahead. So if he's missing some,
if he missed some things, and
a few
not a
life
few screws, just
lessons,
a few. It's a few experiences.
Street lessons.
I'm not a street guy per
No.
se, but I've grew up in and around
And you
that
seen-
shit. I have family in and around that
And
shit,
you
and I kind
saying
of had
he's
experience.
not gonna
He's not gonna get that.
see none of it.
He's not
like
gonna-
he's not gonna
You can
because
see
he still has city family members.
you can see
You
it.
think he gonna stay in Delaware?
But this
We probably
this,
won't even stay in
this is the
Delaware.
reason. This is the reason which and why I want to build that bond with my family, to have them be able to come back into the city and get that experience, because I think that's necessary for them to have a balance of both, especially your son, because there's so many biases that's going to come along with, and you got to put this shit out there for both sides. So yes, there's certain biases in which the way the world views black men
And females.
And females.
And black women.
right. But so as parents, we're taught that, because we grew up a certain way, we know these biases. Now, not to say that the white parents don't have biases as well, because now
They
'Cause
probably
they
definitely
have-
do. It's
cause
just not relatable to, might not be relatable to the black.
no, they will, because I mean, in a certain extent, because you have white parents that say, okay, well, I got to teach my son about him growing up and understanding his privilege. That's a real thing. Like, as a parent, how do you teach your son about him having white male privilege, or just white privilege in general? Like, how do you teach that? That's a real fucking issue. So they have their gripes as well.
But that's what I mean by that doesn't relate to the black people issues.
I mean, well,
like
no,
the black men issues.
it doesn't. But they have their own set of shit.
Yeah.
They got to deal with if they want to address that.
No, that's what I
depending
said.
on
Yeah,
depending on how
I think
they're
that's what
actually
I
viewing.
said. That their issues don't have nothing to do with a black man's issue.
No, I mean they don't, but they have their own set of issues. Yes,
They have their own set.
So for me, raising this young black male in this, you want to call it suburban area? We're moving to.
I wouldn't call it suburban.
We're living in a fucking cul-de-sac. What do you want to call it?
A cul-de-sac of 13, 14 houses. There's still a whole neighborhood.
Okay, whatever.
It's
So we living in a very, very secluded area. Secluded? Because
I wouldn't call it secluded if all 3 schools is right near us. We have a lot of grass near us, so it feel like we secluded. You know what I mean? But all 3 schools, elementary, middle, and high school, is near us. So it's a lot. Like, they're really walking distance, like in a circle.
It's within a mile, yeah. Like
In a circle.
It's
Like,
within a mile.
I can go out the backyard of my house and take the kids to the elementary school. The middle school is over here. Probably a little farther, like, 2 blocks instead of 1. And then the high school is over there. So, like, yeah, we are in a secluded areas, like a lot of grass, The post office is right there. So, and the schools are all right there. So, it's a lot of kids coming to those schools.
Yes.
We just not near a lot of those kids. Do you get what we're like?
So secluded.
A little separate, like a block, 2 blocks radius, like.
So, more of the story is our kids are gonna be growing up in a different environment once you grew up. Because of that, they're gonna have different experiences. Because of that, I want them to have a connection to my family and within the inner city. I want them to grow up with their cousins. Because Colin has a cousin a few weeks older than he is. Kennedy has cousins.
Who?
Marquis' son.
Oh,
He lives the right
I
corner.
was thinking about
Nush.
Mm-hmm.
Nush has a daughter
Daughter.
and a son. No, I'm sorry. Nush has a daughter.
Two
She has 2
daughters.
daughters. One Kennedy age and one Colin age.
Yes, because we keep having kids
So it's
back
like,
to back. Like,
so
it's
you're
fun.
having this. You have family who has kids, and you have like Radia has a daughter who's about 4 or 5 years, or 6 years older than Kennedy.
and Kennedy loves her.
And exactly. So it's like Radia, she loves fucking Radia daughter, and he loves DeAndre daughter. So it's like you have these family members who have these kids who, like your kids just kind of go attached to. So you want
That's
them.
so cute.
So you want them.
I'm
to,
sorry.
But you want them to have that.
I'm just thinking about.
Me and my family grew up close.
You know.
So me, Radia, DeAndre, Cole, Mike, we, Ab, even Basil. Like it's a lot of us. Like fuck.
I don't even have that many cousins to say it's a lot of us. Let
No, it's a lot of
alone.
us. It's a lot of us.
No, it's not a lot of us.
It's a lot of us.
It's not a lot of us.
And then you figure everybody didn't have
It's
kids.
a lot of y'all.
And everybody got
a lot of
people
y'all
got multiple
kids. A lot of y'all
And
got
then,
a lot of kids.
So it's like,
so y'all kids grow up together. Yo, the house was packed with kids, which was like a draw.
but it's a beautiful thing.
Yes.
And then you're not even including the cousins like Charmaine, Ting,
the older cousins.
like you're not including them. It's just
us.
like
They are older than us.
They're older. They're about like 6, 8
That
years
they have
plus.
kids too, but
Yes.
they're like Samira age.
Yes,
aren't they?
they're older. Yeah,
Okay.
but that's still like that's an extension of the family. So like you want your kids to kind of grow up in and around that, so they're gonna have their experience. So I'm trying to find a balance between my kids, and with my son, there's always going to be, and I don't want to put this on him, but there's always going to be an unnecessary type of pressure, because
You say stuff all the time, and I'll be like, "Don't put that pressure on my son." Like,
but it's going to be there.
Like
'Cause-
he says he compared them to like Kennedy or something, and I was like, "Wait, don't put that pressure on my son." Like, don't. You're being a little too rough.
There's going to be.
Boy, you better get to crawling right now. Like Kennedy was crawling that no.
I mean, you running behind like
Get on it, cause you're not. No, like
you lag. I don't know what's going
hold
on.
on, wait a minute. He was born 6 weeks early. Like let him give him a 6 weeks, jump start. He'd be like, see, there you go, baby in him. Like,
he's baby the 6 month old. Like, baby 6 month old child.
Like,
No, so
we really be going at it. Like,
I mean, but so you figure like he's gonna have unnecessary pressure because kids, especially sons, you always measure yourself up to your father. I know I did. This is me living off life experiences. I looked at my dad and said, okay, my dad reached this pinnacle. As a parent, you want your kids to reach exactly either where you're at, or you want them to go beyond. First
you
of all,
want them to go beyond.
Then what you
now where they want to be,
it's a different story.
Totally different.
It's a different story.
I feel like 90% of the
still,
time they don't want to.
But you're still going to, at some point, either measure up or go to so you're either gonna try to measure up or go to a different route. You know what I'm saying? Like it's always like, okay, well, he reached here. And like consciously you're not thinking about that, but as you go through in life, like, oh shit, okay, I look back, well, my dad kinda stopped here and I continued on to here. So now when Colin
I kinda never looked at that.
You don't?
I never said my mom was here, my dad was here, I need to be here. If anything, I looked at my child and said, my child is watching me, I need to
do more.
Yes.
Do more.
Never compare myself to my parents. Did I get farther than them in education? Yes. But again, that wasn't what I was thinking. When it came to education, it was like, I need to show my daughter
how important it is.
Something. Like, I can't preach that to her.
But because of
girl, get your schoolwork done. Leave these boys
done.
alone. Don't focus on friendship beefs and, unnecessary drama. Like, focus on school and not have no school in myself.
Excuse me. But because of that, and because I had your parents instill certain shit, and because of where they left off at, because I had your parents said certain shit,
I don't know,
and said certain shit,
how you put it.
Whatever. Because I had your parents introduce you to certain shit, and because of how you view certain shit and how you want to parent yourself, based off of how you grew up. Okay, well, damn, I want my child to have this type of mentality, so I can't preach that if I don't have that. You know what I mean? So it's like, okay, well, but
that had nothing to. I feel like nothing to do with my parents. It had everything to do with me.
I mean, well,
because it wasn't like I did it straight out of high school or something like.
But your parents still also made it. Your parents made that business to make for you.
My mom might have made her business
to make sure you finish.
To make sure I finished high school. I'm gonna say that because she kicked me out, and I remember this. I hope she's watching.
She's definitely watching.
She fucking kicked me out of the house.
You probably deserve
You know how some shit just stick with you and resonate with you? No, I wasn't. Well, I mean, I was pregnant at a young age. But She kicked me out when I was pregnant to go to school. Like, no, you can go into school, get out, like, go. Like, I didn't feel good. I'm tired. Like, you know how pregnancy be. I'll call out of work in a minute. Like,
I mean, so again,
I'll call out of work in a minute. But it was like, no, you cannot call out a school. You're going to school. So I can say her helping me finish high school was a priority probably for her more than it was for myself. Like, not even finishing high school because I just started, literally. I was in the 9th grade, guys. Like, imagine. Yeah.
hot ass.
Young. So, it wasn't even like finishing. It just was like, I just needed to take these couple months off. It was like, no, go back in and start. So, I didn't complete all of the credits in one semester. I don't know. Because I had Samira in December. So the semester was pretty much over. But she got me to finish that semester, okay? Because I was over school. Pregnant.
But because of her,
She pushed high school.
She pushed you to complete a certain level.
She pushed high school, which she didn't finish. And
See?
I don't think
perfect.
And I don't think my older sister didn't finish. And she was a teen mom. And they both were teen moms. So it was like she pushed it on me. And it wasn't even like it was hard. She pushed it on me while I was pregnant, which was hard.
It's a generational
because thing. I'm pregnant.
It's not about that.
Like, if you ask anybody, I love school.
Okay, cool.
All that shit is cute. I love school. I just couldn't go that day. Like,
that shit is cute. I'm gonna tell you why it's cute.
I just needed to sleep.
Listen.
And I slept at school once I got there. Like, duh. Like, why would you send me? I'm gonna go to sleep.
I stopped here. My child at least finished here. You know what happened? You know what? You finished school, right?
I finished high school.
So you finished high school, right? Boom.
I'm trying to figure out. I don't know how many of us finished high school.
So you finished high school, right? Well, your mom didn't finish high school.
No.
She made sure you finished high school. That was her goal, right?
Yeah, my sister didn't finish high school.
Her goal with you was based off of her accomplishment and her other kids' accomplishment. Hey, little ass is going to finish. So she made sure you finished, right? Because you finished, the mom was already a win.
She did.
It was already a win. Anything after that for her is icing on the cake. You know what you did? I want to go to culinary school. You finished and you went and got you an associate's degree. That's some shit personally for you because you're preaching to your child. Hey, I need you to do X, Y, Z. And if I can't take X, Y, Z if I'm not even doing X, Y, Z. So now,
because if you look at my graduation, Samira's big. Samira's tall.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
So she's watching
2012. Okay, so yeah, I graduated 2014 because I started in 2012. It only took 2 years. And so she was turning 14. I graduated in May. She turned 14 in December. So she was 13. So it was like...
She's watching you do all this shit. So now, boom. Now you have a little credibility with your child to say, hey, look, you know what?
I could have took that raise, girl, and just quit school.
And said, fuck school.
Yes, I could have took that raise.
But mom said,
they was waiting for me to quit. But I'm like, no. So my daughter is watching. Like,
so now your standard is set. But now where is Samira?
Farther.
She's in her second.
Well,
she's in her second year
of
school.
She's about to be done. She's going to get her.
Which is basically an associate degree.
Yes.
But now she's going to a 4-year school to finish up her bachelor's degree.
Yeah.
Which is a step further than what you went.
Mm-hmm.
So even when
she's not officially a step further, but she's going to get there.
She's
regardless.
on track. She's on track.
She's definitely on track.
So, but that's
I'm hitting the mic. But yeah, she's definitely on track to do more than what I did.
But that's all because of you setting your standard of okay. It started with your mom. You don't believe it or not. Your mom started.
I'm not gonna say I don't believe it or not. I had to think back and be like,
you didn't consciously do it.
Yeah.
But subconsciously, you did it.
Like she got me through 9th grade, which
probably was your biggest hurdle.
It was because again, if you know me, I love school. So high school was never my problem, but it was a hardship having a child during high school. Period. I wouldn't suggest it on anybody.
So now.
Period.
So now.
So yeah, it was her. She helped me get through 9th grade. It was like, girl, go. Like,
So
help
now,
them get through ninth grade.
so now you're watching. Now you're
'Cause I was
watching.
ready to quit ninth
You're
grade.
watching your first baby go through her steps and her trials and tribulations of just life in general.
She got done school on time, so she passed me. She got through high school.
She's having her little own issue she's going through, but she's on track regardless of whatever shit she did or didn't do. She's on track to fucking finish school on time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so that's a step further than what you went.
Mm-hmm.
Now this
Yeah, I
this is
never
what I'm
even
saying.
had the opportunity
This
to
is what
roll
I'm,
in
this is what I'm saying.
straight out of
this-
high school. I
This is why
couldn't.
it's just different. So you provide a different lifestyle. So your kids now, so
Yeah.
Kennedy and Colin will
Has
have a totally different path than Samara had.
Yeah, because
you know why? They're gonna have two parents in the household at all times, unless I decide to kill you, or you decide to kill me. They're gonna have two parents in the household at all times.
I might look at
And
you
then
like,
and then they're
I'm
gonna
killing
watch. They watch with okay. Mom reached here, and then dad reached here. Just college wise, mom reached here and dad reached here. College wise. The standard the standard is kind of set. You don't have the bar is where the bar is. This is what it is. Now, boys tend to try to match their father's bar.
I don't think black men do. I don't think black men do, and
I
that's
do.
my opinion.
What do you mean?
A lot of them don't have a black father to look up to.
The ones
So
that
how
do
are they
tend
going to
to match the
have? Most of them don't have black fathers to look up
That's
to.
not true. That's not true.
That is definitely
That's
true.
true.
You speaking for the minority of
No,
black fathers?
that's not true.
Like most of them don't.
The
have,
majority of this is why guys.
most of the men
you're
don't have
truly
black fathers.
acting like a Karen right now.
No, I'm not
So,
acting like
you are.
Karen.
You're acting like
You've
a
been
Karen.
calling me a Karen all week, guys, and not because of I don't know.
Just because you're Karenism.
Just
Yes.
I can't explain it. We're not gonna get into it, but a lot of men that I know today
That's a small sample size.
are small. And what is yours?
A different sample
Because
size.
you know more black men than I do.
It's a different sample size.
Again, a lot of black men I
There
know
are more.
don't have fathers.
There are more black
To look up
fathers
to.
that get. There are more black fathers in today's
They don't-
society.
A lot of black fathers are not at home with their moms.
There are
There's a
more-
lot of split, broken homes. More than there are homes that are to two parents.
I don't believe
So you don't.
I don't believe that.
I could make a poll right now and tell you how many people missing their baby fathers. You're
And-
full of it.
And
You know people don't have their
and-
baby fathers
in
around.
2020,
You gotta be kidding
in
me.
2020, I feel like
There's not two parent
can I
households.
talk, girl?
You're full of it.
Can I talk? In 2020, whether you're a two-parent household or you're co-parenting from a separate house, I feel like there are more black male father figures active and engaged in their child's lives
Then there aren't.
than there aren't. Yes,
That's a lie.
yes.
You need to go back and look at your
I think
your timeline.
I think from when I grew up to now, there's a total difference. Everybody,
There might be a difference,
like-
but there's still a minority
I don't think so.
of two parent households.
Of two-parent households, maybe yes.
Mom and dad
Okay.
together.
That's not what I'm saying, though.
That's not.
That's a different.
No.
That's a different dynamic. What I'm saying is,
And you said it's step parents.
no. I'm saying engaged parents. So prime example. Let's say okay, you and your baby father on together, right? And then well, obviously, but let's say you and your baby father on together.
I didn't even look at it like that. Okay, whatever.
You guys aren't together, but let's say he's engaged in his child's life.
Mm-hmm.
Just because y'all are in the same household don't mean he's not a parent. That just means y'all not like. One of my best friends, Raheem, him and his baby mom have been broken up forever, but he's always with his son.
It was never together.
I mean, they were together.
Same.
They were together when his
I
son
don't
was
know.
younger, but it's.
I don't know. I'm just.
I mean, but they were together when his son was
saying
younger.
His,
But from the time his son
how
was
old
like
is
one,
son?
Lil Raheem was like 7 years old.
Okay.
But from the time he was like one,
Just trying to get.
he's
some
been an
understanding.
engaged parent. Like I get my son every week, every other week, for a week. We have joint custody. Those
I
type
think
of
we saying two
those
different
type of
things.
situations are more common than
Split
then-
households is what I was saying.
Okay, but-
That's why I
so-
said we're saying two different things.
So I'm
saying
not arguing with that.
two-
Yes,
there's a lot of split households.
that's just an American
Split.
period. It's American period.
households.
That's American period. Don't put that stigma
Whether
on
they
black people.
engaged or they not engaged, or they engage half time, they engage full time, they engage part time. Like, there's a more split households than parents in the household.
Don't put that stigma on black people. But you're right. Yes.
Don't.
Yes. There are.
Don't.
I mean the
Why not?
the American.
That's not important.
The American divorce rate is high.
That's not the black divorce
This why we
rate
have
is
Google.
fucking high.
So we have Google.
This is why we have our computers in front of us, not our phones. But okay, carry on.
I don't feel like stretching all the way out.
Carry on. This is exactly why we have our computers out.
American divorce rate.
Black African I can't talk. African American divorce rates are higher.
So for every 1,000
think?
marriages in the
Wait.
last, let me talk.
No. Check your references. When is this dated back to? Because you can't just pull up anything.
November 10th, 2020.
Okay.
So for every 1,000 marriages in the last year, only 14.9% ended in divorce. Okay, that's 14.9. It's 15%. American black divorce rate.
African American, black, whatever you say.
Black women. I'm not going to.
Oh, you a hater. I win again. Divorce rate is high in the black community.
So black men and women both experience at least
What?
one divorce rate
Every
at about
2 years.
42%.
High as fuck. Just Google white people. What's their divorce rate? Because ours is apparently at 42. And America's at 13 as a whole. But that's a lot more people we adding into.
Yeah,
So break it down. Yeah, break it down.
For white America, that's not bad.
Okay.
For white America,
They must be close to us if that's not
let me
bad.
talk. For white Americans, 38% of women and 36% of men have been divorced or married more than once. For black Americans, that figure was 42% for both genders. Among Latinos, 30% of women and 27% of men.
Or they look at them differently. Okay. Carry on.
I mean, they are different. Well, they're different. They're different, but the same.
But like, I thought you said they always black.
They all, yeah. You want to go down this road? So
You said they always black.
Me personally, I put everybody in the
Colored or white.
as So
Not Chinese?
It's color or white. So people of color
I'm just
or
trying to help them
non-people of color.
understand.
So people of color, Indian, Black, Dominican Republic, Guyanese,
all of
Haitian,
them.
all that shit is black.
It's
black.
Hispanic,
It's black.
Portuguese.
Now,
All of them.
Now, your culture and the things in which you indulge in, your heritage and shit, that's your cultural identity. So that can be Indian, that can be Portuguese, that can be Haitian, that could be Dominican Republic. That's a different thing than it's.
But they're breaking it down into
your cultural thing.
Cultural.
So cultural, yes, your cultural thing.
Africans, Americans, black people of our descent.
And there's no such thing as African American, just to be clear. But go ahead. There's no such thing. You can't be African and American. There's no such thing. Because you wasn't originally, you personally are not from Africa. But you're an American.
But it's my descent.
It's not a real thing. Continue. So back to the parenting. So my black, I know we kind of got way off topic. My black son is going to be going through a lot of different experiences. I want to be there to
other cultures.
With other cultures, yes.
Other
no, boom.
races.
He's going to experience some shit at an early age that I didn't catch until 18 and 19. As far as integrating with different cultures. He's going to catch that at 4, 5, 6.
Preschool.
I didn't catch it.
Because I'm getting them in school as early as possible.
Facts. And I didn't catch that until college. You know what I'm saying? I mean, now playing football, you kind of experience different,
So wait, back up. I'm sorry. You went to Grants.
Yes.
That's an all black school?
Yes, for the most part. I mean, it's not like strictly all black, but yes, for the most
What
part.
middle school you went to? You went to middle school?
Yes, I went to Fitzsimons.
That's an all black school?
For the most part, yes.
Cool. Okay. I'm just trying to get some understanding.
And
because I know my high school was not all black. So maybe got the... In high school...
Now for elementary, I went to Pratt, which is around 22nd Street.
I don't.
And
I don't.
That's an all black school, but I also I was there for I was at Pratt for like first and second grade, and I went to the school. I went to a school up in Allegheny.
You went to all black schools up into college. Is that what you're saying?
No, because I went to Puerto Rican school as well for like 2 years.
But that's black to you. So what are you?
But it's
saying?
a different culture. It's a different culture.
It's black to you.
Like I literally almost got jumped for being black. Like one of my best.
But you're all black, right?
Stop. Yes. But everybody don't have the same sentiment as I have.
And y'all didn't view that. You didn't view that like that back then.
At that time, no. I mean,
Just
I was young.
some clarity.
I was young. I didn't have that type of thought process.
Mm-hmm.
But one of my best friends was black and Puerto Rican. His dad was as black as me, if not blacker. Name was Alfonso, and his mom was Hispanic. And his brother was name was Gabriel, who had a Puerto Rican father, so he was all the way Spanish. And I remember getting to this fight. We was in the park one day. We was getting to this some wild shit. The fight was like, the fuck is your black ass doing up here? And I'm like, I'll fuck you up, bro. Like, but when I said all of that shit, I'm North Philly, you know how that shit go. I'm like 7, 8 years old, thinking I'm tough.
North Philadelphians.
And these little motherfuckers came out,
no
like,
fear.
you gonna do what? It was 10 of them.
Oh.
And I'm like,
are you surprised? They ride deep, okay?
So now I'm like, alright, fuck it, like, what's up? And then
you about to get roasted.
Totally fucked up. But my man Gabriel, who was Alfonso's brother, Gabriel was like 6'2". He was like 14. I was like 8 at the time. Gabriel was cool as shit. Came up like, yo, I'll touch my little brother, I'm gonna fuck y'all up. And everybody just stopped. He was like into the street shit back then too, which was kind of cool. And he kind of shut everything down. I'm like, oh shit, okay, that's really my guy. And it was like, that was kind of my friends like for like years to go on. Like, but it was, I went to a Puerto Rican school for like 2 or 3 years.
So that's the only little bit of
interracial thing I kind of had growing up.
Until college.
Yeah,
I started in high school for 3 years.
It's different. It's different.
I went to school downtown in Parkway Center City. Like Parkway, I didn't go to Parkway West Philly, which you probably thought I would have went to if you had to put money on it.
Because you can, right?
Because you thought I was West Philly to the death of me. But no, I went downtown to school, and
I can see that. You can.
Whatever. And it was all different races, like literally mixed. Which I wanted to go to Bodine, which I'm so glad my daughter got accepted there last minute because that's even a better school. But yes, I interacted with it was like everyone, so diverse. So I had all kinds of different friends, and I still follow a lot of them. Shout out to y'all. I still follow a lot of them today on social media. Like, I haven't seen a lot of them or ran across a lot of them, but you know, the bond is still. You alright? Don't die.
Wrong hole.
Oh, okay.
Pause.
The bond is still always there. So maybe that's where I get
your diversity from?
A little bit of my character. You know what I mean?
I can see that though.
So
I can see that.
Because I worked in environments that wasn't all black, like downtown again. I went in environments that weren't no blacks, and I always felt comfortable because I never felt uncomfortable. Like, I never let them make me feel uncomfortable because I feel like I deserve to be there.
So to kind of bring this thing all kind of back on, your experiences have shaped and molded you into who you are, right? Don't punch me. Oh, boom. But your experience shaped and molded who you are.
Yeah.
Your kids will have totally different experiences.
They will have similar experience, but
They're gonna be different.
It'll start earlier.
They start which will help shape them and who they are. Because while you caught it late,
I caught it earlier than you, and you still feel like I'm a certain way than you.
Cause you're bougie as shit.
So what do you think these kids gonna be? What do you think these kids gonna be?
What, dad like me?
What a dad like you? What do you think these kids gonna be?
Woke. Not on no Karen shit.
Go ahead.
Not on no Karen shit. They be woke.
They're gonna be bougie as fuck.
My kids, I will beat.
They're gonna be bougie.
Let me not say that on camera. My kids will be totally fine.
They're gonna be bougie as fuck. Okay? They're gonna expect certain shit that.
You know what's funny?
Middle schoolers shouldn't fucking expect.
You know what's funny?
That's what they're gonna expect.
I had to talk to
you
somebody.
don't even see that shit coming.
I had to talk to somebody at work the other day, right? And we were talking about, and it's weird I bring this up. Where you bring that up? Because talking to this guy at work the other day, he was like, "Yeah, man, my son like saved a bunch of his money for just this gift."
Great.
I'm like, "Oh, that's super dope." Like you kind of made them work for their money. Like I'm like. And in the midst of all that shit, I'm like, damn, I kind of just give my kids shit. And me thinking it's to Kennedy, me thinking it's to Samara.
I
kind of just give shit. And it's a gift and a curse. Because you give them what you didn't have, but
you're enabling them to make it worse.
It enables them to devalue the actual...
Devalue.
Like it devalues the value of a dollar.
You know you always got the right words.
It devalues the value of a dollar. And it devalues the whole point of hard fucking work. It's like, damn, do I really want to raise my kids to be that It's a tough place to be in. Because while you want to give them what you didn't have, and if I can kind of view how my parents raised me. My dad, for the most part, gave me what the fuck I wanted. With no questions asked. I remember one time.
No, I didn't get no questions asked.
No, like literally, like my dad was like, "Yo, man, it's Easter." Yeah,
I did
Easter.
it myself.
My dad said, "Yo, here go $600, or I'm sorry, here go $400 for Easter. Go buy Easter clothes."
How old was you? Because I
was like 13.
Okay, no, my mom took me shopping.
I was like 12, 13. Like, yo, here go $400.
I was in middle school. My mom took me shopping.
This was like when university. Well, not this was like when the fuck is that?
I can't even remember the name of the stores.
It was USA Blues. USA Blues.
Mm-hmm.
Was it City Blue?
City Blue.
City Blue.
City Blue still exists.
It was City Blue.
Well, they did.
And it was another store called.
I don't know if they made it through the pandemic.
Oh my god! It was City Blue. What the fuck was the other store? Whatever that store was. Anyway, I went in there. My dad gave me $400. I'll never forget this shit. I went in there and to buy my school clothes.
Oh, okay.
I wanted to buy my school clothes. I said, okay, cool.
No,
he said, yo, back then we had to wear a uniform, but hey, go buy it. I would go buy a bunch.
I didn't have uniforms.
I was supposed to go buy a bunch of Dickie clothes and the shit you wear for school. I literally went and bought a pair of Moschino jeans, like $250, and two pair of Air Force Ones, which was at the time it was like $2 for $90.
So
and it was like, and that was it was like $350, and I bought a Moschino, and I bought like a few pack of t-shirts, and it was gone. My dad was like, "Yo, what the fuck is school clothes?" I'm like, you bought one pair of jeans and 3 shirts and two pair of sleeves. I'm like, yeah, this is it. He's like, yeah, good luck. Man, but that was his way of saying, here's your trust. Go ahead. So he was.
You fucked that up.
He was kind of that parent in a sense, but he wasn't, because it was like it would all come back to like, yo, like he would always sit me down and say, yo, you're moving the wrong way. Like he would always give me that talk of just dad to son type shit. You know what I'm saying?
You're fucked up.
He would give you that talk.
This is what you need to do.
But so as a parent, when I'm watching my daughter, and she's only fucking 2, so I mean I haven't done anything crazy yet. But as I'm just watching my habits and how I'm moving. I don't see my daughter saying, "Hey, Dad, I saved all of my money.
No.
Go buy me a phone."
Absolutely fucking
not. We was watching
Or the other daughter don't even do that.
We watching. No, she don't even do that.
The first daughter does.
You know what she'll say? I mean, I was loving the phone.
the screen is broke. I can't do Face ID. The camera is cracked. I just need a new phone. Like, I guess y'all could give me that for my birthday or Christmas, whichever one, because they both the same fucking day.
Yeah,
basically.
2 days apart. 2 days apart. Like, what?
Like, no.
Well, we was watching Teen Mom, and the kid was like, they saved up all their money to buy an iPhone. I'm like,
Aubrey.
I never think my daughter would get to that stage.
No, you got to make them get to that stage because you got to stick it out and be tough. You got to be a parent. You're not a friend. And you got to stick to that stage. Save your money and you can get what you want. You might, oh, babe, just get save $100. Let me just see you save $100. Mind you, they get paid $20 every week.
What did I just tell you?
Save $100 and I'll put the whole $1,200 to your phone. Like, that's you. That's you. You'll put $1,200 to $100 just to be like, she did that. She did that. But let your son do it. You're not going to stand for it.
What did I just tell Samira about her car?
It was some dumbass number. Like, it didn't make sense. And
it made perfect sense. But
it didn't make sense.
That's just...
Especially for what we're doing, trying to buy a house and the time. Like, it just, like...
Like, you make it happen for your kids. Because at the end of the day, who are you living for? What are you doing it for? Like, why work this hard to penny pinch them?
To pay what?
To penny pinch them. Like, why work this hard? Why go through all this shit? Why am I back here studying some shit I don't really care about? Why am I actually taking these fucking exams? I don't care about none of that shit. Why am I actually doing all of this shit to achieve these things if I can't give them? And granted, you shouldn't polarize and popularize that word. You shouldn't polarize and make material items of importance. But at the same time, I'm willing. If that's gonna make you happy,
I think you'll do it more than I will.
I'm willing to give you those things as long as you're checking these boxes in which I want you to check. So for Samara, she go to school. I mean, she has a little shit she gets to deal with every now and then. For the most part, she doesn't have any issues with school.
We don't have to do much with Samara. So I guess that's why you feel like
she has regular school.
It's not
out of my way.
Much to give her.
No, it's not at all.
Because we don't have to take care of her as much as we have to take care of the little ones.
Exactly.
We don't spend on her like we have to spend on the little ones. Like,
so when she does ask for shit and need shit, okay, I'll figure it out. Don't worry about it. I got you. So that's kind of...
But the stuff she does ask for, we have to reel her back because it's unnecessary. Sometimes.
I mean, it depends on what it is.
Like a apartment.
She has it, though. That's some shit
that she figured out. One. She's ready.
Oh, yeah,
when she's ready to move into the next establishment. Like...
Yeah, I mean, well, that's just being a parent and kind of...
What? Reel it back. You're not even done all the schooling you need to get done to do what you want to go to get to your goal. So reel it back. Because you don't need to live on your own until you're done and you're making that dollar. Because that dollar where you want to get to is the real dollar.
Yeah, I mean...
And not the dollar after 4 years of school. That ain't the dollar. So you still need to be with us.
So we try to... Well, I know personally, I try to give them what I feel like they actually need. Or what I feel like they actually... I try to give them things that I had growing up and then some. That's always the goal, to give them a little more. But along with that, you would create a little bit of a different monster. And you're creating a different animal. And so
I agree.
So it's a different level of parenting.
Agree.
Like, there's a prime example. The shit in which I do for my daughter, right? My dad didn't have I didn't grow up with grandparents. I didn't have a grandma or grandfather. Like I had my grandma, but she died when I was young.
I get what you're saying.
She died when I was young. So
I had a grandma, but I didn't grow up with that kind of grandma.
So, but guess who my
dad? You're talking
but guess
about.
Who my dad's gonna be?
That you're referencing.
So guess who my dad?
I know what you're referencing, and I didn't grow up with that kind of grandma. That like.
So imagine having the parent I'm gonna be. Imagine being the parent I'm gonna be and you're gonna be, and also having your grandparents be the parents they're gonna be. So that's a different kind of fucking child. So they're gonna have different experiences as a child. So
yeah, because even my mom, where I know she's not around. She's over there. She calls me
To
and
check
asks
on-
me.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, what do they need? So eventually, once they get to a certain
they'll
age,
be calling.
yeah, she don't need to call me.
Call
She
her.
gonna call her like, girl,
Exactly.
what you need? Call me if you need X, Y, and Z. So
with-
yeah, I
so-
get what you're saying.
So with that, you're creating these different type of fucking monsters.
Where we didn't have
We didn't have that.
those grandparents to be like, hey, I need some new Air Forces.
Or just, I mean, you know.
Like,
some
it's
people
the first day at school.
just,
Like, oh.
hey, I need lunch money for the week. Or I just, with anything they have going on, they're able to make that phone
See,
call.
your parents are closer. Mine's aren't. They're closer. So it's
I mean,
like,
now until we move, then they're about equal apart. Seriously, like once you move, they're about I don't have apart from each
3
other.
hours to Lancaster.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
An
That's right.
hour and a half to Philly.
That's
So
true, that's
they're
true,
not equally apart.
That's true.
But my mom give me her card and I can order some shit through her card. So if need be.
Glad
How you think
you got
we got-
that relationship.
How you think we got that party? That snowsuit?
I don't have
Like,
any questions.
yeah,
I just
don't.
want to figure some shit out.
I didn't pay for that.
But so you creating these different type of monsters, and look, man. End of the day, parenting changes every generation. Period. Because you're adjusting
agree.
to the fucking times of. You're growing as an adult. You're
Of
trying.
society.
Society's changing. I mean, like you look at the world now. You have a black female vice president. It's never happened before. You have females getting more power than children than before. For all of the racial shit.
Especially when we was looked at like your voice didn't matter.
Yeah. So for all of the racial shit we're going through, and it's a lot of racial shit we're going through. Black people have now more. Black people have more than they ever had before.
Especially women. So
I mean, just black people in
you
general.
need to uphold your women
Yes,
just
for
as
sure.
well as you
For sure.
uphold your men.
For sure. But black people in general, as a people, have more now than they've ever had before. So
Right.
so it's like, okay, well, yeah, there's still some fucked up shit going on, but we're still progressing. So if you look at your kids, they're gonna have a better life than what. There's gonna be less racism when they grow up. Or
We say that, but then look what's going on today.
there's not gonna be
Our
as,
parents say that, but then look what's going on today. So that's a whole different topic
There's-
that we could get in.
there's
That
not gonna
is
be-
going on today.
there's
That
not
is just
going to be-
effed up.
There's not gonna be as much.
Your dad probably didn't think
Let me talk.
what was going on
So
back then will be going on today.
So what's going on now, right? Like when you look at certain shit, it's okay. Well,
So
times are changing. People are acquiring more things. People are acquiring more.
what the,
People are acquiring more power, more status, more money. There's more black millionaires than ever before. We're acquiring more power.
but yet,
We're still dealing with our shit. That's a fact. But
and it's so
Every-
much more relevant today because of social media.
every generation still has changed. There still was a step in progression. So for all that shit that's going,
Can you say it's a progression between us being outside and being okay with being on the porch and playing, and then we can't let our kids do that today, right now?
I mean-
like that's not a progression. That's a progression. I don't know if that's the word, but you know what I'm saying.
So you're
Like-
you're viewing it from that standpoint.
I'm doing it from me being right here, right now, today. It's not safe for my kids to just play on the porch by themselves.
In Philadelphia, no.
No, it's not
In Delaware,
safe. If my daughter turned 4 tomorrow, 5 tomorrow, and she's playing on the slide in the water on the porch by herself, it's not safe. So
And
I don't agree with what you're saying.
in
basically.
Philadelphia,
I
no.
think,
And Delaware to be safe.
like you don't know that,
That's
but
the
okay.
reality. But I mean, like that's why if it's not safe, we're moving.
Period. That's all.
Not paying as much money for the house will not be safe.
That's all.
So if it's not safe, we're moving.
But that just don't mean it's like from one generation to it's got safer. No, it got worse.
What got worse?
The violence.
And then the city, yes.
It got worse. I don't know what the numbers was back then, but I know we are at a high point and the homicides
Well,
today.
That's a whole. It's a
which is like, it's like crazy. Again, more kids are getting shot. Like, it's too much. It's too much.
It's just a little more reckless for sure.
It's too much.
So just to kind of.
It don't matter if they black.
Just,
you know what I mean?
just to kind of recap things, yes. Our parenting style is different from our parents' parenting style. And our kids' parenting style is different from our parenting style because it's a generational thing. You're adjusting to the times.
And I'm still on the same type of time. My kid's not safe to be outside. So bring the shit inside. And now I'm not saying bring the shit inside like my mom was bringing the shit inside. Like, oh, you can, no. You can have coolers in the house. I'd rather you do that at 18 in the house.
Puff was
then, like, no. I'm not going to be like, okay, kids, it's okay to have hookah in the house because y'all are 18. Like, no, but y'all got to find something that's going to make y'all happy, you know?
Things will always evolve. Good or bad, things are going to evolve. You just kind of want to adjust with the times. I think for us, we've adjusted to how our parents... We took how our parents were raised and how they raised us, and we made that into a positive thing. And we have actually fucking put ourselves in position to give our kids a different life. To where they won't have the same struggles that we actually have. And I think that's the biggest thing as far as parents. You kind of want to make sure that you just kind of...
You can set them up. Even if they're not going to take the bait, you can set them up. That's all you have to do as a parent. Is set them up.
Whatever happened to that, that's kind of their fault.
It ain't got nothing to do with you, what route they take after that. Because once they're grown, they're grown.
They're going to do their own...
You can still steer them, which is what we're doing with Samara. We steer her. Samara is easily steered. I told you that from the beginning. She's easily steered. A good conversation with her, she's easily steered.
You know what's funny? As I sit here as a 32-year-old male, and I can look back at a 17-year-old Shug.
19.
Let me talk. I can look back at a 17-year-old Shug.
Oh, maybe you was 17.
And trying to figure out how I want to go to school. And as far as football in college. I can understand by dealing with Samara how my dad said, hey, I don't want to make certain choices for you. Because, no, I get it. I get it. Because I can still think and I can still know how you want and should move. But I also think that you have in your heart to want to... You won't know until you know. So while I can steer you this way, if it doesn't work out, you're looking at me. You mean like, what, this didn't work out?
I can take that and I can help you and I can guide you if we're going to figure it out together. I'm not going to leave you out when you're alone. Because I feel like a lot of parents send their kids to college and then leave them out on their own.
All I'm saying is, from my point of view, when I was growing up, when I was trying to figure out what I want to do,
it was like, okay, you make your decision.
It was a different thing for me because I was going to school football. So it was like, okay, well, you can go here and go sit here and go sit out, or you can go to Chain and go play straight right away and then kind of get right into it. And my dad left that too shit to me. Whereas looking back, he shouldn't have, but I understand why he did as an adult. Like, I get it now. Like, I totally understand, okay, bro, I don't want to fuck up.
But you wouldn't, I feel like you saying that, but you wouldn't do that.
No, I wouldn't.
You wouldn't do that at all.
But
so
I still understand.
Like, you wouldn't do that at all. Like.
That's not. But you know why I wouldn't do it?
You understand, but you know that was stupid as fuck.
But you know why I wouldn't do it?
Let's just say that. You know it was stupid as fuck. But you get it. But it was dumb as shit. I would steer my child differently.
I wouldn't do it because of experiences that I had growing up as a child. Because of that experience I went through, yes, that helped me to say, you know what, I wouldn't do that. Because I can control this environment by seeing it this way. As opposed to just letting you kind of figure shit on your own. So no, I wouldn't do it. No, I wouldn't do it. But those experiences have allowed me to say, no, I'm not doing that shit. Because I've went through it. Whereas,
I feel like it don't matter if you didn't go through it. You wouldn't let your child.
Whereas he hasn't
terminate on their own.
He hasn't had those life experiences to kind of guide me through certain shit, but I had them. So let's kind of wrap this whole shit up, because we're kind of moving into like uncharted territory here, guys. Not uncharted, but whatever. This shit, we'll end up with a fucking 3-hour podcast. I don't want a 3-hour podcast. I'm leaving a 3-hour podcast
because somebody can talk.
Sandra.
Lies.
I don't want to end up with a fucking 3-hour podcast. So we're going to kind of like.
We had 3 hours?
No, we had like an hour and a half.
Oh.
Hour and a half.
You got to count your fingers?
Yeah.
Okay.
An hour and a half. That's not that many fingers. It's only 3 fingers. But an hour and a half. So to wrap things up, thank you guys for listening. Hitting this button. At some point, Tanya's going to put a button right here.
The subscribe button is the subscribe button, guys.
Where's it located?
Oh, wait.
Yeah, where's it located? Exactly. So at some point, she's going to figure out me smart enough to put a button right
You've been watching.
Right here. There's going to be a button right here. And then, thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for listening. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And how was time to say it? I would love for you guys to join our family. But go check out her podcast. She's round of applause. I'm trying to get this in before we run out of time. Round of applause for Sandra. She's made it to over 1,000 subscribers. She's actually officially monetized. Bring daddy the money.
Eventually, it's going to
bring
be.
Daddy some money.
Those pennies going to turn into some dollars one day. But
But thank you.
First things first.
So. Play our shit. Go see her shit. Make sure you actually go like, share, and subscribe. Thank you guys for listening. We will catch you guys again next week. It's been fun. We do this shit all the time. We do it for fun. This is where we're at. Our Life Our Way. We got merch coming soon. Our Life Our Way hats, shirts, t-shirt. No, shirt is a t-shirt. Our Life Our Way hats, tennis shoes. No, I'm playing. But we'll catch you guys later. We'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.